Well, we're up here on the Bonsai and hopefully we'll take a bit of a look at fishing for the skimmers on the short pole. It's that time of year where it comes into play a bit in the matches, you know, catch 40 to 60 pound of skimmers from anything from 10 to 12 ounce up to great big things, 2-3 pounders. So run you through how we go about targeting them, the baits, the lines I fish for them on, and the way we go about doing it. So we'll have a quick look at the rigs. Bait's dead simple, and we'll go from there, talk you through the ins and outs of it. So, in terms of the rigs, the first one, we'll start from the top end, is the green Drennan bungee. That's in the normal standard carp kit, the long one, so the elastic's all the way through the full length. Main line's 015 to an AS1. Set up a 0.4 today because it was quite flat when we started. That's on 015 main line to a bulk and one dropper, then a 6-inch up length of 010.5 Suplex fluorocarbon to a 16 911 F1. That's just fishing straight in front of myself. Second rig, exactly the same top kit, same float but a bit lighter in a 0.3, just fishing along the rush bed down there. Little strung bulk to a 4-inch up length to the same hook in the same line, the 16 911 F1 to 010.5 fluorocarbon. So, talk you through and put me up, because I've had a few lads asking questions about how to plumb up and what to look for and the such, so I thought I'd quickly run through that in this and then we'll turn around and get a bit of fishing done. Bait, dead simple, just red maggots with a few white ones mixed in just to give me a choice of baits really. And that's it. So we'll talk through the areas in the peg we're going to look to fish, why we're going to look to fish there, and hopefully we'll get a few bites. So, in terms of plumbing up, for this line straight out in front of myself, just going to look to fish where I can comfortably feed maggots. So that's anything sort of top 4, top 5 kind of distance. So realistically, I want to be fishing no more than this, say, which is top 4 on a Drennan pole, which is probably top 5 on a normal pole. So you see there, if we come to the right ever so slightly, it's slightly shallower. So as with any sort of fish, I always look to plumb to the bottom of the body on my float. One, if there's any sort of toe or anything, it makes sure I've got a bit of a line on the bottom. And two, you have to think the double maggot we're fishing is not going to weigh the same as this plummet, so it accounts for any stretch in my line. So just have a quick look. So there. You can just see the base of the body as we go to the right, it just shallows up ever so slightly. I'll just keep tweaking him. And don't be afraid to put that plummet back on throughout the day. Like, you might find you go in, have a spell where you're catching really well, then you foul hook a few, come off an odd fish. And sometimes that float's just slid up the line ever so slightly, so there. Not sure how well you can see on camera, but just to the base of the float. As you can see, we're a nice distance there. You can comfortably throw them maggots in that line. So that's how I always look to plumb up, just to the base of the body on the float. It's nice and comfortable. Doesn't really matter what bait it is. Sometimes you might want to put more line on the bottom, be it if it's blowing a gale, it's towing. But as a general rule, if you're ever in doubt, just to the bottom of the body on the float and go from there. You can always add more line onto the bottom if you need to. I've been feeding it a little bit before because it can be a line that takes a bit of getting going on here. Out to my spot. Lay me rigging. Feed your maggots. Just lift your float out while they fall. Place them in, just to try and reduce your liners and silly indications, hopefully get a proper bite. What you don't want to do is get too overexcited about loose feeding that bait, because all you just do is create chaos in your peg. You just want to keep them on the bottom where you can catch them nice. So I've missed that indication now. I've given it that opportunity to still go in and get the bite. So now once the feed, you feel like those fish have spread out and might just be milling around looking for that food. Once we've cleared those maggots out what we'd fed. The brilliance of this bait at this time of year is how aggressive you can be with it. There's loads of little mouths in the peg, as you've seen. We've gone in, caught an eye, caught a roach. You might catch an F1 this drop, you might catch a skimmer, you don't know. All you're trying to do is keep all them fish happy in your peg and feeding. Feels a bit of fish. Feels like an F1. There he is, look. Great big Bonsai F1. Well, you can see how quickly the pegs change once we've stuck this up. You can see how the pegs changing. We've gone in initially, caught a little fish, and gone in, caught the eyes, and then as the peg's developing, there's more bait going through the peg. It just gets stronger and stronger, as you can see there. We've had a nice F1. So it's not something to just have a quick chuck and then sack off once you've caught a few roach. It does take that time to build up and get them bigger fish competing. So we'll carry on with it for a bit, and if anything changes, I'll catch up with you. We went through that spell of catching an odd F1. Then we had to move lines, go back on that other line, down the edge, and then now we seem to be catching a nice little run of skimmers. Whether it's a time of day thing or just because we've kept persevering with it, kept them maggots falling through, it has just got better and better. Plenty of bites, got a few tench as well, so summer's on its way. But just thought it'd be nice to do this little piece like just to show how it's differed to the other one on beaches. So in theory we're fishing exactly the same way with maggots, but with the beaches there was that many F1s there, the fishing was really good. Whereas today it started off steady, we've had to nick a few here, move lines into the edge and just keep persevering and plodding away with it. And eventually it's come quite good with skimmers, F1s, odd tens. And it's turned out to be a really nice day's fishing. It just goes to show you how fishing with a bait such as maggots, what you can be aggressive with, even though when it's cold, it just gives you that opportunity to feed a part of your peg, almost try and make something happen. Whereas a lot of the time this time of year with baits such as pellets, it's a case of tapping a few in and moving lines and rotating. You don't really feel you can push your peg, whereas with baits such as maggots, everything eats them, and you can really try and make something happen if you feel you have to. There we go, nice little bite. Tiny little indication. I think we've got another Bonsai skimmer. I know. Is it brown one that looks a bit like an F1. No, the rare brown skimmers. Plodded in ever so nicely. Nice if they all did that. Just got a plane going over his head. Lay your rig out. And then today, cause rather than fishing through the water again, like as in the other video, we're trying to target them better quality fish, such as the bigger skimmers, the Tench, an odd F1, maybe a barbel or two if we're lucky. By fishing such a positive rig with a bulk and a dropper, it just helps eliminate catching all those little roe. A bit slow then, just put my rig back in. Go. Yeah, but once you want big old boys, another cracking size fish. Clean all the rubbish off you up, just make sure it's as clean as you can. Just stops it getting impeded when you strike into one. And maggots on. Always hook my maggots through the thin end as well, just leave as much hook showing as you can. So, rig in. You're almost laying it in as though it's a pellet rig and just let it all straighten out. And just placing it. Could do with a bit heavier float to be honest, especially now this wind's got up. And I think what I'll do is I'll catch one more for you. Or we'll keep going until we try and catch a skimmer or a Tench. And then we'll have a look at what we've caught. Little indication. Not been feeder fishing all winter, I'll probably have picked up at that. Got one. I think this is the one we're after. Yeah, the skimmer, here he is. They're the ones we've been looking for, them bonsai skimmers. Brilliant weight builders this time of year, especially when you can't always sit down and catch carp all day long. So we'll have a quick chat and then hopefully we'll have a look at what we've caught. So as you can see, it's been a very different day to the last maggot fishing video we did on the beaches lake. I think there's a few things that happened and caused that. Obviously the makeup of the lake, different depths, different shaped lake, and also the stocking. Obviously with beaches having the amount of hide and the F1s in, they do have to be a bit more competitive for the bait, otherwise they're not going to get fed with the millions of tiny little hide in it. On here the fish tend to be a bit bigger, so a lot bigger skimmers, tench, barbel, and obviously the odd F1 that we've seen today. So sometimes it can take a bit of time to create that competition in your peg and get it going, but as you see, we've persevered with it. We've had a few fish out in the open water on that 6-7 metre line, an odd one along the rushes down to my right there, and it's ticked along until the point where the fish have wanted to feed. Just let this plane go over. We've had an odd one of them today. Little airport just up the road, so we're all out flying during the lockdown, keeping themselves occupied. But yeah, like I was saying, we've just ticked over on them 2 lines until we've come to a point where the fish are looking to feed, we're competing a bit more, and then we've caught really well, skimmers, tench, odd F1, and turned out with a really nice net of fish. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. Quite similar to the beaches one, but still a little bit different in terms of how you've had to tweak the peg and things. So a little bit more of an in-depth look at maggot fishing, how I go about plumbings and the rigs and so on. So yeah, we'll keep them coming, hopefully get out again this week providing the weather's not too bad, and we'll have a quick look at what we've caught and we'll go from there. See you all soon. So as you can see, we've had a cracking afternoon's fishing up here on the Bonsai. Managed a nice barbel, some tench, and some great big skimmers like these lads here. Can't knock that for an afternoon sport. So if you've got a day free or anything you want to come catch a lovely mixed bag, head up on Bonsai, feed plenty of maggots and have a lovely day like this. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.